Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Lexi and today I am going to give you my top 8 tips for starting a no-buy. Your reason for wanting to set up a no-buy may be different from mine. You might want to cut down on your spending. You might be saving up for something like a big vacation trip, wanting to buy a house, or paying off student loans. Whatever the reason may be, these tips will walk you through what is necessary to set up and have a successful no-buy. My personal reasons are mainly because as a project planner, I've really seen how long it can take to finish products, and I want to be a more mindful consumer and not just buy whatever the new hype product is, but also just using what I have and what I already love. So my goal for the first 6 months of 2025 is going to be a no-buy / replacement only buy. And I'll get into that a little bit later, but let's get started on how you can start. So my first tip is to take inventory of what you already have. This might be very tedious for you as it was for me, but getting a foundation of knowing exactly how many products you have in each category is really going to help you solidify your mindset that you don't need any more products. I like to keep track of my products in an Excel sheet, so I have it broken down by each category, what the product name is, when I bought it, or at least the general month of when I bought it, how much it cost when I bought it, and the open date. This really helps me stay organized in seeing which of my products are the oldest and should maybe be worked on getting used up. I have many makeup categories where I have multiple products in, whereas I have some where maybe I only have 1 or 2. Having this organized really kind of helps me realize that, okay, I do not need another foundation because I have so many. If taking inventory of everything you have sounds overwhelming, I recommend seeing if you have 2 products in each category that you use. If you have 2, that means you are not going to be buying any more anytime soon. Each time you finish a product in that category, go into your stock and see if you have another one. And if you do, you're going to bring that one in until you end up only having 1 at a time. For example, I have 3 concealers, so I'm going to use 2 at a time. And if I were to finish one, then I'll bring in that 3rd one. If I finish another, then I'm left with 1. And once that one is finished, I am allowed to buy a new one. This can make it a lot easier to manage how many products you have while still being a conscious consumer and being aware of what you do have. My second tip is to declutter products you don't like. So personally, I'm not a huge fan of decluttering products because I feel like it opens the door to just buy new products and put it in that place, and then the cycle continues of getting rid of products and bringing in new ones. But in order to have a successful no-buy or project panning, I highly recommend decluttering products you don't like. I've tried hate panning products in the past, trying to finish products that I just do not like, and it is extremely hard. And I think doing your makeup or using skincare products is supposed to be a fun and enjoyable experience. So if you're forcing yourself to use products you don't like, it really isn't doing anything for you. I've done it a few times before in the past. One time was with this primer that I kind of bought on a whim. I did no research on it. I just saw it and kind of wanted to try a more glowy primer, and I ended up hating it. I forced myself to hate pan it, really to just kind of make myself more aware of, hey, I shouldn't just buy things just because I see them or it's something that I want to try. But I'm definitely someone who really likes to research products before purchasing them. But again, I really don't recommend that. You've already have a net loss of purchasing the product, and if you don't like it, it seems a bit foolish to me to force yourself to use it. However, I do recommend trying to get products to really work before decluttering or getting rid of them. And how I do that is really just testing it with either any primer, any different type of skin prep, really just however you can get the product to work. If you truly find that it's not working for you, then that's when I decide to get rid of it. But I really do try and get my money's worth, and I'm not a huge fan of decluttering products, but I do think having one before doing a no-buy could help you be more successful. My third tip is to swatch all of your products. I know this can be another tedious step, but I really do find it important to get a better idea of what products you do have and what you're drawn to. For example, I love more of like the peachy or nude type of blushes, so I tend to have lots of those, whereas a mauve or a deep plum shade I don't really have. And I find this to be a very important step, especially for eyeshadows, because I definitely am a sucker for the way that a palette can be arranged. But then I tend to realize like, oh, I might have some of those colors that I'm already drawn to. If you really want to be crafty with this, you can take photos of all of your swatches so that if you are to make a purchase, you can see if it's already something that you have and maybe avoid some of those purchases. I also love swatching because it reminds me of what I have and what products that I already love and just how beautiful they are and why I was drawn to it in the first place. So now that you have the groundworks of setting up no-buy, how do you stop yourself from buying things? My fourth tip is to delete apps and turn off email notifications. Getting notified whenever there's a new sale or being able to browse through makeup apps can be a trigger and make you think that this is a purchase that you need. I think turning off the notifications from brands that you're subscribed to is one of the most important things to do because they are going to constantly bombard you with flash sale, 20% off, 10% off, 15% off. And it really shows you that sales are very common and there will be another sale. By turning these email notifications off, it is completely off of your radar and hopefully you are not thinking about buying from these brands soon. And these brands just want your money, so they think throwing a 15% off coupon your way is going to bring you in, and you might buy products that you wouldn't even buy without the sale, and they don't care, they just want your money. And if you feel like browsing is going to be a trigger for you, then delete apps like Sephora and Ulta, because you can still have an account without actually having the app and you can like log in on your computer. So if being able to scroll is going to mess with your no-buy and make you want to buy things, then I highly recommend just getting rid of them. My fifth tip is having an accountability buddy. So this is having like a partner or a friend know about your goals of how you don't want to make any purchases, and it will kind of keep you accountable. And this isn't to feel guilty or for them to make you feel guilty if you break your goal, but more to be accountable about it. So if someone else knows about your goal, you're more likely to stay on track because you kind of have this mental reminder that they also know about this and you don't want to let them down. Not that it should be to the point where you're letting this person down, but it really is more just like the psychological factor that you aren't going to let them down. I also find this tip goes really well with number 6, which is shopping with that buddy and doing replacement buying only. So I feel like having a replacement only or a low buy where it can be a different type of goal of you can either set a certain amount of products you're allowed to buy during your time period, so you really have to justify that purchase over others, or if you want to set a certain dollar amount that you can spend each month. Again, really having to justify which products you want to purchase. I think doing it that way versus a strict no buying any products is a lot easier, and there can be a lot less guilt associated if you do buy something. Personally, I want to do a replacement only because I do have more products in each category, whereas I think there's maybe 2 categories where I only have 1 or 2 products. And it's something that I use, so if I run out of it and I actually don't have another product to take its place, then I do think it's okay to buy that product. But this is where the buddy comes in. If you feel like going into the makeup section or a makeup store is going to make you buy more than what you intended, having someone there who knows about your goals and your intended reasons for going and shopping, they can really help you control your wants and just go in and buy what you need. If you truly think that going in, like even with somebody, is not going to be possible for you, maybe have that person buy it for you, or doing a purchase online. Though I do highly try to avoid the online purchases, because if you are just trying to purchase one product, I feel like most of the time to get free shipping, you have to buy more products. So I do think going in store is the best option. Tip number 7 is creating a wish list. So this tip might not be for everybody. This is something that has worked for me, so I do want to put it out there. So for me, when I see a new product and it's something that I want, I cannot get it out of my head. And I've learned that putting it on a wish list really just gets it out of my head, and it serves as a reminder that this is something that I'm interested in. You might be the opposite, where if you put it on a wish list, it's going to be a reminder that you want it and constantly be in your head. So it depends on the person, but this has worked for me in the past, and almost every single time when I go back to that wish list, I don't really want the product anymore. Either the hype has died down or I just realized that it isn't for me. Maybe I've seen reviews on it and isn't compatible with my skin type or even like the colors that I gravitate towards. So when a new product does come out, I do like to kind of have it on a wish list for a little bit to really get an understanding if it's something I actually want or it's because I'm seeing it everywhere that it's kind of being shoved down my throat. Again, this might vary person to person, so just see if that's something that you think would work for you. My final tip is to congratulate yourself and be proud of yourself. You are setting up goals to either save money for a specific thing, or you are trying to kind of analyze your shopping habits and make changes. And making changes to your habits can be extremely hard, and it takes months of practice. You're building new healthy habits, which takes a lot of strong will. And each time you successfully reach your goal or do the new healthy habit, you're only solidifying that habit. Something I like to do if I stop myself from a purchase I don't need, I like to take that money and put it into a savings account. And I like to either set up a goal of how much money I want saved or a certain goal of what that money is for. Either like a vacation or a big ticket item that you want to purchase. And of course, only do this if this is possible financially, but I really think it is just so amazing to see how much money you're actually saving from not purchasing these products. If maybe you are not able to financially put it into savings, then maybe set that money into paying off some debt. I think it really puts it into perspective of having these smaller wants versus a bigger want and seeing how that money can be distributed. I feel like it is very easy to just click add something to your cart and get it shipped to you. And I feel like with that, the dopamine hit that you're getting from it has only gotten shorter and shorter because of that. But I do think there is something to learn to see how much money you save for a new foundation that can range $20 to maybe $60 versus if you were to save that or pay off debts. I also think having that larger goal will keep you more focused than wanting these smaller goals of, say, a new makeup product. I hope this video was helpful and I hope you have a successful no buy. If you have any other tips, feel free to put them in the comments and share them with everybody else who is doing a no buy this year. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you like and subscribe. As always, I'll see you guys next time. Bye!